Let's talk sports, fans. Thanks for tuning in.
Good evening or afternoon, morning. I don't know. It's 10 o'clock my time. 10 morning, I guess. So good good brunch time, everybody. A happy Saturday. Welcome to another great episode of Headkicks and Haymakers. I am your host, Bodkins, and of course, joining with me is freshly new daddy, Mr. Witt. Witt, what's up, my guy?
What's going on, brother? I'm running off about 2.5 to 3 hours of sleep, but we were doing it early today. Early to rise. The early bird catches the worm. What other morning analogies can we use?
So I always used to say, my dad used to tell me early to bed, early to rise makes a man. He used to say wealthy and wise, but then I called him out on that shit. I said, motherfucker, you getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning. We broke as shit. So it's a lie. And he used to say, I didn't say wealthy. I said healthy. I said, that's a goddamn lie. He used to tell me wealthy. Hey, right. Wealthy, getting up at 4 a.m. So nonetheless, we are here. Great episode of Headkicks and Haymakers. And Witt, last weekend, we'll start with PFL versus Bellator. I told you going off air, I said Bellator will run the table, and they damn near ran the table except for the main event. Thoughts on last week's PFL versus Bellator card?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. For me, it was one of those, like there was smoke, but where's the fire? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was excited to see all of the matches. You know, said a lot of the names that we didn't know, we kind of had to introduce ourselves to. There were some really good knockouts. There were some really good fights that actually happened. And then we get to the main event, quote unquote, and it's 20 seconds of Ryan Bader just not making it happen. It was, I'm hurt. Y'all know I'm a Ryan Bader fan. If you've watched this show, I was bigging up Ryan Bader like he was going to take on Renan Ferreira, and I didn't realize Renan Ferreira was like half Wookiee and was like 6'9", and it just didn't work out. But if you watch the fight, one of the most exciting things that happened wasn't even a fight. It was basically PFL getting down on their knees to beg John Jones to fight anybody in the PFL that's a heavyweight, damn near. But of course, somehow, some way, the finger got pointed right at the heavyweight contender, Francis Ngannou, who was fighting Anthony Joshua next week. And I was like, I've never seen like a hobo. I've seen hobos and poor people beg for change all the time in Jacksonville. But man, were they jiggling their pockets at John Jones on a pay-per-view. I couldn't believe it. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that I was gonna say, to me, that was the highlight of the whole night, was them John Jones on the PFL broadcast and saying like, hey, I'm still wanting to fight Stipe. I'm still wanting to fight Tommy Aspinall and then fight Francis if I can. The problem is, I don't know if you noticed, but John Jones looks like he weighs about 300 pounds instead of about 265. I mean, he did say he could beat Francis. Francis called him, he's a fat motherfucker. He called him fat or something like that, but did show respect later because Jones introduced himself to his mom and they had a nice cordial meeting. And the guy who won, he gets to go on and maybe face Francis sometime this year at some point in time. Whether that happens, but who knows? Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, I did think that was a good showing for guys like AJ McKee, who, I mean, he's so good. Guy was disappointed in just like you were disappointed in Ryan Bader. I was very disappointed in Johnny Eblen. I mean, it was a fight that, weathered the storm. I thought he could just go out there and just put it on him, wrestle and get the finish, but wins a very, very close fight in the co-main event but gets the W nonetheless.
Yeah, man. I got a chance to watch one of the greats, and you can kind of look at it as you want to. Yoel Romero went out there and danced for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, Yoel did what Yoel always does. Stands there, scares the guy, and then throws a few punches and gets the
right. Yeah, Yoel Romero didn't do what I thought Yoel Romero would do, but I enjoyed that. Then my guy Jason Jackson, best name in the business as of right now, Jason the Ass Kicker Jackson. I thought that was really dope. He went out there and he did his thing. And
Hey,
then
with a name like that, you got to win every time. Like, you know what I mean?
It's no
Yeah.
other way to have it. And then of course, I gotta just keep it real, man. The main event with Ferreira and Ryan Bader. We saw the face off, and I was like, he's not 6'9", whatever.
He's fucking huge.
He's a whole.
He was two
animal.
Ryan Baders.
Yeah, right. He is a whole Wookiee in the rim. I mean, in the cage. You know, shaved, just ready to go for it, and it lasted all of 20 seconds, and that is the supposed next fight for Francis Ngannou in the PFL. But like we mentioned, we'll talk about it probably like in a week or so. Francis is getting ready to take on Anthony Joshua in Riyadh. It's gonna be pretty dope.
Yeah, that's next. I think Friday or Saturday is AJ versus Francis. So if Francis beats AJ, they might as well. He's never gonna fight in the PFL like that. Like, because if he beats AJ, he gets the winner probably of Usyk and Fury in the rematch. And we'll preview that fight next week more. But they announced that the winner of that fight would fight Francis before the fight. I think the chances of Francis actually fighting for the PFL are probably about 30%, if that.
I mean, you're giving it some grace. I'd say it's about 25 because the point would be if the fight happens, let's say he points AJ. He doesn't even knock AJ out. He just points him, wins by decision, split decision maybe. That is catapulting him into the stratosphere of heavyweights, which, of course, as one of the scariest fighters ever, the punching power is immense. We will get a chance to possibly see him fight Ryan Fury again or Usyk. And then, of course, if and when it happens, you know what I'm saying, what's next for them? And then what will the PFL do to draw him in? They don't have that bankroll. They don't have the cachet. But everybody knows boxing is a prize fight sport. When you put those two names up there, and my guy, Salam Alaikum, Turkey Al Sheikh, we're getting ready for Ramadan. I know he's getting ready for. That's why we gotta get this fight out the way because ain't nothing happening in Riyadh for like a month. It's really going to be going down, and I'm excited though. But for Francis and his possible future in boxing.
Yeah, I am too. It'll be interesting how that fight looks next weekend. We'll look at that. I mean, and. Our guy Rob, what's up, my man?
Shout out to Rob with two TVs.
Hey, Rob's one of the best in the game, so we appreciate it. Rob's always tuning in. He's been our number one fan, our H&H number one guy. Sure. So Rob, we appreciate you always tuning in. Nonetheless, then we had last Saturday. Then we had the great Mexico card. Brandon Royval goes in there and spoils all of Mexico's hearts. And beats Brandon Moreno. I thought Royval won. I thought Moreno maybe won 1 and 2, and then Royval just came on late 2, 3, and 5, or 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, and won that. And outclassed Brandon Moreno. It just seemed like when everybody else was getting tired because the elevation, Brandon Royval, who's from Colorado, trains in Colorado, he just never got tired. And then you find out that he had maybe a torn MCL, but then that's now been cleared up. He didn't tear it. Just, he says he's good to go. And he wants a rematch at 301 against Alexander Pantoja. Are you okay with that? We just saw that fight in December. I don't really know what else is out there for Moreno. A guy that is fighting tonight could make some claim to that.
Man, listen, it's one of those things where the fight with Pantoja was a good fight. Would I like to see it this early? There's not too much at the top for him to do. So it really is dependent on what the bigger, the higher ups see is what's best for him right now. But kudos to Dana for putting on that of course that fight card in Mexico. A lot of good competition going on right there. And man, let me tell you something. In the middle of me fathering, y'all know how it goes when you hold a baby and try to get the baby to go to sleep. I passed out, so I missed it. But I did get to see. I did get to see the results. I did get to see some of the recaps, and man, it looked like something to watch.
Yeah, so Amir Abazi, who was supposed to fight, he was supposed to fight Moreno in that fight, but pulled out. Roy Vol steps in. He could be there, but the guy that he's fighting this week, and that's Mohammed Mukayev. He is the currently ranked number 8. Now, I know that's kind of way down the line, but he's fighting tonight against, I forget who he's fighting tonight. Let me look it up. Alex Perez. So, and Alex Perez is 7. So maybe at that point in time, has Muhammad done enough to kind of turn around and get up there? You got Kai France at 4 there. I don't know if they'll give it to Kai. But to me, there's not a whole lot, and they're trying to get Pantoja, the title fight in Brazil at 301. I wouldn't mind seeing Roy Vol. It seems like he's got some rejuiced energy after that fight. Says another man will never hold me down ever again. Cut a nice little promo on the microphone afterwards. So, I do like that fight. And then, man, I appreciate it, Fresh. The co-main, it destroyed some hopes and dreams. Yair Rodriguez, had he went in there, and, we probably get him and Ilya, and it looked like in the first round he was going to put out Ortega. But then Brian Ortega is an absolute dog, my friends. I mean, weather the storm. First rolls his ankle, first jumping up and down.
I saw that. Oh, my God.
Rolls his ankle. Says, then he's like, I just believed in God. I thought Yair was going to get him out in the first, couldn't get him out. And then after that, Ortega wins round 2, ends up tapping him in the third. T-City is back and seems a little bit more motivated.
Listen, bro, let me tell you something. Brian Ortega is one of those fighters that if you don't know the name and you go look back at who he's fought, where he's been in the rankings, it's miraculous how somehow, some way he kind of has beat himself on numerous occasions when it comes to being a title contender. But I saw, and
he was this close to choking out Witt or Alex. You know
Alex,
what I mean?
Yeah, he was. Like before it got to the point where that he was a household name. He was this close to being that guy.
He was choked out, had him in the triangle, you know what I mean? And even folks said he almost had me in their title fight. I was kind of, but I just remained calm and was able to get out of there.
Right.
So he was close to beating Volkanovski and becoming the title, the featherweight champ.
He was there. And Ryan Ortega, of course, this is my thing. I love, y'all know me, I'm a storyline kind of guy. I love that Fury story where he's been up and down and almost suicidal. Ortega simply said he's had one of those same type of experiences. I'm saying he gave his life over to Christ, and now he's doing better. He's not drinking, and everything's working out for him. The only thing I can say is no more jumping when when they say your name, okay? Because I don't know how he just literally. I saw it. I was like, oh, when I saw the replay, it made me grit my teeth.
Yeah,
that ankle roll is something serious. But kudos to Ryan Ortega, man. That was one of those. Hey, look, I'm back, and unfortunately, Ilya gets he gets to look at his meteoric rise plummet just a little bit, man, because he was on the way up.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Too. I think, who would you like to see? Would it be Ilya and Ortega next? Or I still think Volkanovski, if it's later in the year, Volk gets the rematch. Even Ortega said that as well. But do you think Ortega has made his claim now? That was his first win in 2 years. Do you think he could, make a claim for the title fight?
I think he could have. I think they could make way for the title fight. If not, then definitely like a title eliminator. Maybe he can do Volk one more time. You know what I'm saying? But there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way, and especially in the UFC, it's well known that Brian Ortega's one of those guys that we gotta keep in mind from now on, because I mean, like you said, he was this close to getting Volk before. He kind of took himself out from a loss or two, but now having this type of performance, in front of Mexican fans, it's going to mean something to Dana when he's trying to put some next fights together, especially after like 301 and going towards the third quarter of the year.
Yeah, I would like to see. I worry about Ortega versus Ilya for the simple fact is like Ortega's stand-up game. We saw what Max Holloway did to him. Remember, Max pretty much stopped in the middle of the fight, was showing him how to defend his own punches, and where I feel like Volk is a little bit more well-rounded. I'm not sure that Ortega is as well-rounded, and I think that where Ilya would get him was, his strength is standing up. So I would have favored Ilya if they fought, but I still think Volk could go. And I even think Max Holloway deserves a shot if no matter what happens at 300 with him over Ortega. But I'm not too sure. I'm looking at the rankings here with who should be next for either guy. Let's
Ortega. It's almost like a round robin. Like we could almost mix it up. Max could do Ortega. Ortega could do Volk. Volk could do.
Yeah, Max already beat both of them. That's the problem. Max has cleared out everybody.
Max is beating everybody.
Outside of Alexander Volkanovski or Ilya, and so that'll be the change. I think what would be great for Ortega.
Let me see what's going on in this room right quick. Okay, hold on one second.
All right, you good. Whit's got a handle, do some daddy business. But a guy I would just popped up this, I thought of, I would do Yair. I would actually do Brian Ortega versus, if he wins at 300, none other than the former UFC bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling. Give Aljo 2 fights before you put him in the title fight. That would be a fun fight. Ortega versus, hey, there she is. Hey, so I was just saying, I like Ortega versus if he wins at 300, Aljamain Sterling for a title eliminator.
Listen, and that's somebody that, of course, but just because of recency bias, people throw out Aljo as if he wasn't like up there in the rankings for the last few years as a title contender. But the whole point is, went like really seriously that round robin of fighters. You can literally throw a couple guys in there. Thanks, Rob. Yeah. For some odd reason, she just did not want to stay in the room and was causing a ruckus. So sometimes just got to bring them on camera.
It happens. Yeah, she can be our co-host.
Shout out to Sam. Sam be like bringing all his kids, wearing an apron, changing diapers, talking wrestling. I'll be like, man, Sam is the guy.
You got to do what you got to do. But I do think that Aljo makes perfect sense to me if he can get past, if he can get past Calvin Kattar at 300, and then you put him and T-City in a title eliminator fight. You let Ilya either fight Alex or Max in his first defense.
I would like to see that now. Max Holloway, Ilya Topuria. Let's do the thing. Let's stand and bang. Let's stand in the middle of the ring.
In Spain, nonetheless. I like it. I like
that idea for sure, man. I like it. Yeah, you like it? Oh my god!
And you could let Yair fight down. One more time. He'd have to fight down. Let him fight Mozart Ivalov. Ivalov is number 5. I think he's an undefeated guy, just coming off a win over Arnold Allen. So I kind of like that as far as the featherweight. So we got the featherweight booked. Dana, call your boy Bodkins and Witt. We just figured out all the matchups for you. So Ilya can get either the rematch with Volk or Max. You do Ortega and Aljo for a title eliminator, and you do Yair and Mozart Ivalov. And if Mozart wins that one, he'd probably right in line for the title next. So
we definitely want to see Mozart.
You're welcome, Dana. You're welcome.
Definitely want to see more Mozart. Got to bring Aljo out if he wins in at 300. So hey, look, man, we got it lined up. Dana, just give us a call. Holler at your boy.
Yeah, holler at us, Dana. We got some boxing stuff happening tonight, and then we'll look at the UFC. But what did you make of just the press conference of Haney versus Garcia the last few days?
Man, listen, the press run for Haney Garcia has been a convoluted bit of marksmanship and showmanship.
It's also a lot of cocaine and stupidity, though, Witt. I don't know if you caught this. Did you hear Ryan Garcia say he could beat Sean O'Malley not in the squared circle, but in the octagon, inside the steel cage octagon.
Listen,
Ryan, put the cocaine down, my friend.
Ryan, first of all, let me tell you something. Ryan Garcia, I love a fighter who's confident in themselves. Okay, Ryan Garcia is not short of confidence at all. He got on the Ariel Helwani podcast and basically said, "Yeah, man, I wrestle all the time. Look at my bodyguard. I
wrestle my bodyguard." If you're out wrestling your bodyguard, then you probably should fire your bodyguard.
Right? I'm like, yo, that's like saying, "Hey, Bikers, didn't I just beat you?" And you like, nope.
Yeah. And if you're paying me to be your bodyguard, I'm gonna let you out wrestle me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't want to beat my boss and then get fired. But like, I like to say this, right? Devin Haney's father helps make fights. Devin Haney's father's in the background talking all kinds of trash, going crazy on social media. So shout out to Mr. Haney, because first of all, it is his son. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia do have a bit of a rivalry going on. We can see it visually on shows like First Take. But then somehow, some way, a tape got leaked of Devin Haney at the age of 16, possibly because of speculation, getting beat up by Tank Davis in a sparring match at the Money Mayweather gym. And then he getting beat up by Adrian Broner.
Huh? Yeah. A lot of people getting beat up by Tank Davis.
Listen, but I mean, the thing to hear the banter that Devin Haney has put out there on many occasions, as if he has whooped Tank in the sparring, to have that video leaked magically during this press run, and then the speculation be that this is when he was 16. I don't know if I want to see some little boy get beat. He was 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
He got grown behind Tank, whooping up on him. And then it was so bad. It's so bad. Adrian Broner jumps in the ring, stops it all, and says, "Nah, we ain't having it. It's over. That's good." And when I say, if you find it, she saw it. If you find it, let me tell you, it's not pretty. So I don't know. Somebody's digging up the dirt for Ryan to use, or for Ryan's camp to use, or maybe this is something that Ryan's been holding on to and just waiting to put it out there at the right time. But
I think, or maybe it was Tank Davis's, camp that leaked that photo out.
Well, don't sleep on Abdul Wahid. Okay, he's just now getting out of jail. Okay, but so his mindset may be a little different. Okay, so Abdul Wahid may be in the wings waiting to see what happens with this. But the point is, and Ryan Garcia said this, and when he fought Tank, he's never going down to 135. Never. He's never going.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. And rightfully so. If you see Devin Haney and if you see Ryan Garcia, there are guys who are walking around at 150, 160 easily. Losing 30 pounds, cutting 30 pounds, and not having any strength is beyond me. I don't care how big the purse is to fight Tank Davis. I don't care.
Well, we see that all the time, even in the UFC, guys who, walk around 170 and cut to 155 or something.
Yeah, 20 pounds, 15 to 20 pounds, maybe. 30, anything you're going 30, you dang near killing your kidneys. Yeah. But for this fight, I can't wait till it happens. We know we've got a long time, but finally we get some excitement in the boxing world. On top of, and keep this now, the PBC. Everybody seems to be abandoning ship from the PBC right now. Everybody's been looking forward to or looking at Canelo Alvarez as the money man of boxing as of right now, and for some reason he just leaves PBC, and we've had no word from Al Heyman at the moment, but from Canelo's camp, the original conversation was that he signed a 3-fight deal to fight either or both Charlo brothers, right? Or either Charlo brother. He's already fought one. Maybe it was possible that he was going to get a rematch and then fight Jamel or Jamal again. And then, of course, David Benavidez sitting right there, the Mexican monster, huge underdog if he was to fight Canelo, but he's not playing any games. He wants to fight Canelo. Canelo leaves the PBC to do what? We don't know. Then, as we see that happen, boom, Terrence Bud Crawford, who just got finished showing us what it looks like to put somebody in a car crash, not literally, but what it looks like to fight somebody who come out of a car crash. He leaves the PBC too. So we as avid fight fans, we don't know what's going on. We're all going to speculate that it's about money.
All right, they're all gonna. Hey, Mr. Turkey Al Sheik is about to be breaking off everybody.
Aha! There you go, my friend. See, I knew you was a smart one. Somebody's going to say these unsanctioned, these sanctioning bodies that have been holding each other back or holding some of these fighters back are going to start to get put to the wayside when these the oil barons of Riyadh and Saudi Arabia and the oil countries or whatnot are going to be putting up this type of money. Look, I don't need to fight you for a belt. I just want to get some money. I mean, and literally this is what is happening. And of course, as long as it's been sanctioned, not necessarily by the PBC or the WCC or the other 3 or 4 sanctioning bodies in boxing, it can still mean something, and it'll still draw 100,000, 200,000, 250,000 pay-per-view buys. I am thinking that something is going to happen, and it's happening right now, and we just don't know. Because, of course, where Canelo Alvarez is the money. Everybody knows that.
Oh, everybody knows that. We do got. Are you interested at all this Jake Paul fight? I don't even know who the hell he's fighting. I think I credit Jake for now shifting past the 80-year-old MMA fighters and trying to fight real fighters, but I just have no appetite for it. I don't know, and I don't know if there is an appetite out there. Like people, it seems like even in the community don't even care about this fight. Okay,
so if I'm not mistaken, let's just try and say this name. Niraj Goyat, the Rhino is his nickname, and he will be fighting Jake Paul later on today. And let's just say this: boxing is one of those funny landscapes where just because I don't know the fighter, that does not mean he is not worth his salt to be put on this card. But Jake Paul has a masterful way of backdooring. What's a good way to say he might be paying somebody? I don't know, but I'm interested in seeing it. I probably won't watch it live. I'll probably watch it later on just to see the results, to see what happened. Because if he does his famous look here, look there, here goes my right hand across your face, I'm not interested in it. I want to see somebody that is actually giving him comp the entirety of the fight, and not interested in possibly just making it to the 7th, 8th round for $250,000 payoff.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't really even care about Jake Paul at this point, man. Like, unless he's like fighting some, a bigger name and things like that. And I get he's trying to fight guys because everybody's knock was like, oh, he's not fighting legit boxers. Now he's out there fighting. And this guy's Mr. Rhino, sir, is probably getting the biggest paycheck of his life. For sure. To fight Jake Paul. So, sign up. I mean, Jake Paul willing to, pay me break me off some bread. I'll go in there for, a round or two and let him knock me out and call it good. So, I mean, he's getting polished a little bit, and I'm not one of them haters that are knocking Paul either. I just have no appetite for it. I feel like it would be, a good fight on, say, like an undercard of like the Francis Joshua fight. Like if you told me, something crazy like that, I'd be okay with that. What are we looking at tonight as far as this awful UFC Apex card? I probably will tune in for a little bit. I'm not going to lie, not thrilled about it. Let me ask you this: would you rather have? I saw a poll on Twitter. Would you rather have less cards but better cards, or keep it the way it is?
All right, 2 things. 1, tonight it's Ryan Berland. That's the guy, Ryan Berland.
Okay.
Goyat is
the Rhino.
Right. Ryan Berland is the Rhino. And for me, I would much rather have less cards at the beginning, because a lot of the time at the very, very beginning, get from out of that window at the very beginning of the year, like we're kind of watching the rankings form so that we can get huge fights towards the end of the year. 300 is one of those apparitions where we get 10,
299. Next week's 299 card is a killer.
299 and 300. We're getting damn near 15 ex-champions in a row fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? That's really not happening any other time. But right now, I mean, you got to get these guys in there, man. You got to have them go at it. And we're doing it in Vegas.
I mean, it's the apex, so it's not like, you know, it's. I would what I would like to see is you got the one pay-per-view a month, and then probably two fight cards like at some place, and then you could build it that way. Instead of almost a card every week. I feel like to give yourself one weekend off a month, and then, you know, have a good fight night card before the pay-per-view to promote all the pay-per-view and things like that. Like this card, how is this card before $2.99? You know, I mean, like in $2.99 is going to sell itself because of all the names and things like that. But this fight card, just there's not anything really appetizing on it here for me. I mean, we did talk about Alex Perez versus Muhammad Mokaev, and then the main event is Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Shamil Gaziev. I mean, Gaziev's 12-0, but he's trying to get ranked, and 12-0 is a heavyweight. It's not saying a whole lot. This is his first real major fight in the UFC against Jairzinho, who's been around for a while and kind of fought the who's who. Jairzinho is the underdog on this fight at plus 155. So there's that.
I'm also looking at you know, gotta check out the little guys, man. Down here at bantamweight, we got Umar Nurmagomedov and Bekzat Al-Makani.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen Umar fight a highly ranked guy, but it seems like people are not in the bantamweight outside of Corey Sandhagen, who said, "Hey, I'll fight." They were scheduled to fight last year. Umar got hurt, and now he said, "Hey, Umar wins like two more, I'll fight him again, or, you know, we can look at that going forward."
Right, and look here, man. Any Nurmagomedov, I'm not counting him out. You know,
no, I mean, Umar is. Look at these odds. Umar is minus 1,500 favorite.
I got. Well, we already know what's going on with that one. I mean, you know, we see it's at the very beginning of the card right now. Umar 16-0, 7 subs. Like, look at these names. You know what I'm saying? Barcelos, Manis, Keller.
He ain't fighting nobody.
He's been taking these little guys out, but
yeah, he's taking an old playoff script straight from his cousin Khabib. You know what I mean? Let me fight a bunch of bums and make it look like pad my record a little.
So many bums, all the bums, bring them all. Let's take them out and see what happens. But of course, I'm excited to see this one a little bit. I mean, you know, Nurmagomedov is right here in that space where somewhere you gotta. When you start picking them up, you got who's in there that we can throw at him? Rob Font, maybe.
Yeah, he called out Rob Font. He's called out Rob Font at the presser. Said he would like Rob Font next.
Right. Yeah. You know, Sandhagen's up there. Rob Font's up there. Garbrandt's up there. So it's a couple names that he could go to next if he wants to make some waves. But for right now, that's the one I'm looking at. And then of course, you know, hey man, two. You know, pause already before I say this. Two big guys banging it out. You know. This is as the main event. You know, that's always interesting too. So
it won't go 5. I don't think if it goes 5, the oxygen machine's out for Biggie Boy.
No, Rozenstruik plus this guy who already has a reputation of knocking guys out. I feel like somebody's going to miss and catch a left in the second round. It's going to happen already.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'll take Shamil tonight. Where's the hammer? Give me Shamil. Here's a little parlay for you, folks. I'm gonna give you a 3 here. Take Shamil, take Muhammad Mokaev, and take Mr. Umar. That if you have Umar in there, that might fuck up. The parlay won't be as high, but there's your 3 predictions tonight that I'm picking tonight.
You making the picks already? Yeah, but yeah, you know, I think she agrees with you in your picks right there. I'm definitely down with that. So let's see what happens, man. Go ahead and get your DraftKings on, people. Get your three fight parlay going right now as we speak.
Right there, and that pretty much wraps up this nice little show this morning. We'll be back hopefully Wednesday. I mean, just real quick. Next on Wednesday, when we preview UFC 299. Listen to this card in case you haven't looked at it again. So at the top, you have obviously the main event: Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera for the co-main event, for the bantamweight title. And then the co is Dustin Poirier versus BSD in a 5-round fight. Oh my God! Then you got Kevin Holland versus Michael Venom Page making his UFC debut.
Finally.
And then you got Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Meno in a bantamweight title eliminator fight. Ooh. Then you got Peter Yan versus Song Yongdong. Peter Yan, former bantamweight champion. Song trying to get to that. Then you got Curtis Blades, a guy who has UFC versus Jalton Almeida. If Almeida wins, he has a claim to fight maybe Tom Aspinall. People are talking maybe at 301 or something like that for the interim heavyweight title. Then you got Caitlin Chikugian, Macy Barber. Way down on this card, Gamrot versus RDA in a lightweight title, or lightweight fight. Man, like that fight is going to be killer. That's not, then you got who else? You got Michael Piera versus on this card, as well as Pedro Munoz, Kyler Phillips. This 299 card. Jesus.
Listen, bro, this is one of the ones that we've been waiting for. I think we've been talking about 299 a little longer than 300 because we didn't know who was going to be the main on 300 until magically Uncle Dana just shits one out and says, here goes two fighters. But look, I can't wait. Definitely anticipating this one. As you can see, my daughter is trashing right now because of the names you just named. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited about this one. The MVP debut. I don't know if y'all know about me and other promotions, but I've been excited about Michael Venom Page coming to the UFC, and I'm hoping that he does not.
That's going to be a banger, man. There's some banger fights on this card, and that could be fight of the night. Jesus, the BS.
Kevin Holland's going to talk that talk. It's going to be stand up and banging and the Dustin Poirier BSD fights. Hey, there's so many good fights on that card. Rob knows what's up. Okay, yeah, because I'm old school MVP. I don't know if he's gonna bring out the Pokeballs and catch them all. I have no idea, but he probably won't do no gimmicks in the UFC. But he's all business when he gets into the ring. I'm excited to see him make his and they didn't give him a slouch either. Kevin
Holland's a dude. Kevin Holland
is not an easy walk, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just see what happens with 299, and I can't wait to talk about it further next week.
Yeah, I can't wait either. So tune in. We'll be back at a normal time, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. It's my daughter's birthday this past Wednesday, so we missed it. But we'll be back probably Wednesday night for preview UFC 299 previews. So be a friend, tell a friend, folks. Like, subscribe, share. It's been another great episode of Head Kicks and Haymakers for Whit and his beautiful daughter. What's your daughter's name, Whit?
Kennedy.
Hey, bye,
for
Kennedy. Whit. Kennedy Bodkins. Hey, it's been another great episode of Head Kicks and Haymakers. We'll catch y'all tomorrow on Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Central, with my guy Brad Harvey. Sits down with me and we talk all college sports. Can't wait for that. See you then, folks. I'm going to hit that outro.
Peace. Yeah.